Is there anything with regards to Faridabad?
Phone calls are getting traced as well.
The location in Faridabad.
Whether this was a blast as a result
in which the explosion has taken place.
of a homemade bomb.
The strength of the explosion.
They in fact busted it.
Car has been registered Nadeem in Haryana.
The car still belongs to the initial owner.
There are nearly 15 people who are injured.
Damage, the severity of the explosion.
News None has accessed crucial details.
We don't know what the connection to Mohammed Umar is.
The suspect, Umar, is visible in the CCTV.
What were they planning to attack?
We continue to bring you all those details here from Red Fort.
That goat is long dead. But Cyrus Bhai still alive. Game show. This is God's office calling. You're not a VIP, so God won't speak directly. But here's the deal. You have been granted a second chance with a brand new news show.
Thank you very much. Just one thing. You said two more lives. So I'll first be a newsman who wins awards, and second I'll be
Cockroach.
better make this show last. No hurry to, be a cockroach. Let's stay here for a little while. Don't want to be a cockroach. Apparently, they have lots of issues, like being stamped upon. Which is the same thing as a newsman. I mean, they're not that different.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Welcome to News 9 and you are watching On Point. Today we have two On Points. On Point 1 is on breaking the Naxal bastion. Is end game for Maoism in India near? On Point 2 is on the open letter to Rahul Gandhi, leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, by 272 eminent citizens, slamming him for attacking democratic institutions. Now let's take a quick look at the headlines. NIA arrests gangster Anmol Bishnoi after deportation from the United States. Lawrence Bishnoi's brother is an accused in the Baba Siddique and Sidhu Moosewala murder cases. Shocking revelation by Pak politician Chaudhry Anwarul Haq. Chief Minister of POK says Pakistani terror groups stuck India from the Red Fort to the forests of Kashmir. Nitish Kumar elected as the leader of the NDA legislature party, stage set for Nitish 10.0. Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his address in Coimbatore remarks farmers waving their gamchas made him feel as if Bihar's breeze has reached Tamil Nadu before me. Supreme Court gives Commission for Air Quality Management a free hand to take any proactive measure to curb air pollution, throttling Delhi NCR. Statutory body proposed advancing GRAP 4 restrictions like work from home to ongoing GRAP 3 stage itself. Mamata blames ECI for Jalpaiguri BLO's death. BJP hits back, family cites rising workload. CID holds RCB directly responsible for the Chinnaswamy Stadium stampede. 2,200-page charge sheet includes evidence against RCB, DNA and KSCA. Afghanistan seeks Indian investments as Taliban minister arrives in Delhi. Afghanistan's Trade Minister Alhaj Nuruddin Azizi will meet Foreign Minister Jaishankar. Curfew imposed in Nepal's Bara district after clash between Gen Z youth and CPN UML cadres. A major breakthrough has taken place in 2025. Security forces have reduced the Naxal-affected areas to 11 districts from 182 in 2013. A big milestone has been reached. Once known as the dreaded Red Corridor, it has been reduced to a stub, and that has happened in a decade's time. Late Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh had described it as India's biggest security challenge. Today, the tide is turning. Not only mass surrenders are taking place, but forces have been successful in eliminating top leadership of the Maoists. The centre has taken a vow to finish Naxal insurgency by March 2026. Hidma and ID expert Tech Shankar are part of the same food chain. Hidma orchestrated the worst hit internal security hit in India's history. Security forces are not only eliminating armed cadres but also the minds that run the political wing of the Maoists. The example in case is elimination of Vasavaraju. But who was Hidma? He operated Battalion 1 and 3 of the Maoists. He executed Chintalnar massacre in Dantewada. 76 Jawans were killed in the ambush. Hidma was responsible for killing 155 Jawans across Naxal-affected states. He was responsible for killing 81 civilians. Roughly 50 operations were conducted to nab him. Intense operations pushed him to leave the battalion, and it was then he was ambushed.
In last 1 or 2 days, we had a very specific intelligence that few of the top Maoist leaders are entering into Andhra Pradesh, and they are planning to revive the movement. One exchange of fire has taken place between Maoist and security forces. Madhvi Hidma, he is the Central Committee member and 1st Battalion Commandant and one of the most wanted and dreaded Maoist. His body has been recovered. His wife, Raje, her body has been recovered, along with 4 of his gunmen. In that, we have recovered few arms and ammunition, particularly AK-47 2, pistol 1, revolver 1, single bore weapon 1, and other materials along with kit bags and all. The body is being shifted. The postmortem will be done as per the due process, and necessary action will be taken after that.
आज इस एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर में सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस को एक बड़ी सफलता मिली है, जिसमें आंध्र प्रदेश उड़ीसा बॉर्डर प्रांत में एक्टिवली ऑपरेट करने के लिए जो छत्तीसगढ़ से भाग के माओइस्ट आंध्र प्रदेश में और आंध्र प्रदेश में एएसआर जिला में जो आ गए थे, उनमें उनकी लीडरशिप में जो मेट्टूरी जोगा राव अलियास टेक शंकर, उसको आज सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस ने सुबह एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर में उसके साथ जो आए एओबी कार्डर में ऑपरेट करने के लिए, उनका इस एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर में न्यूट्रलाइज करा गया। इस एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर में टोटल 7 माओइस्टों का न्यूट्रलाइजेशन हुआ है।
The question is as to why security is doing better now. There's a clear political instruction from the centre to go after the Maoists. Deadline of March 2026 has been set for the forces. 87 new camps were opened deep inside Maoist territory. Distance between 2 police camps has been reduced from 45 km to 20, ensuring quick movement. Multi-pronged strategy has been deployed. Trust building and development received special attention. There's better cooperation and coordination among states. Engagement with local population has been deepened. But there are pending issues. Thipari Tirupati and Mr. Besra are still out, and they are important members of the Maoist party. It should be noted that Naxalites are waging an armed insurgency against the Indian state. In the name of the peasants and farmers, they challenged the sovereignty of the country and have killed hundreds of security personnel. This brings me to the big question. What is making the difference now? That is the question number one. What is making the difference now? The question number two, can Maoists regroup in future? Question number three, why didn't we open camps deep inside Naxal areas earlier? Question number four, how are Naxals able to command enormous financial resources? Question number five, where do they get weapons from? On this issue, I am joined by Ram Nivas, former DGP Chhattisgarh, Noel Swaranjit Sen, former DGP Andhra Pradesh, MP Nathaniel, former IGP CRPF, and PK Mishra, former ADG BSF. Thank you all of you for joining me. Let me straight away go to Mr. Nivas, former DGP Chhattisgarh. My question is very simple, sir. What explains the success of our security forces in last 3 years? Let me play out a graphic for you in context of surrender, arrested, and the people we have gone after. And it clearly shows a couple of big bumps, which makes it clear that the success rate has gone pretty much high in the last 5 years. Mr. Nivas.
So, good evening to everyone. First of all, congratulations to all the security forces for this great success. Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Maharashtra and Telangana. It is all coordinated efforts, all central forces and intelligence agencies. Now the point is clear that there is a clear-cut direction from the top, that is from the MHA, and the coordination by the state police, that is Chhattisgarh government and all other adjoining states. And slowly the system has been set up. So now the forces, because the forces were having large casualties since 2008, 2009, so the things were geared up, the system were evolved, intelligence was basically geared up, and the involvement of the local police, the local police and the locals from the Chhattisgarh itself, from the Bastar area, the DRG and the local Naxalites who surrendered, they were taken into the police. So all these, basically all these things, so that is why success is.
So basically you are saying that there is a complete clarity from the top. I am also joined by Mr. MP Nathaniel from IGP CRPF. So there is also other issue. For example, there has been a deep penetration inside the Naxal territories. The camps have gone up to 87. The distances between the thanas have been reduced from 45 to 20 kilometers. Why did we take so much of time for us to reach 2025 to do so? Why couldn't this be done maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago or 40 years ago, sir?
Good evening to all your panelists and to your viewers also. In fact, the problem was that whenever any attempt was made to construct roads in these areas, the Naxals were active enough to sabotage such construction of roads. I myself was in Andhra Pradesh as a commandant, and there I found whenever we tried constructing the roads, the Naxalites would come and threaten the contractors and the labor, and obviously then it wasn't easy to construct the road over there. But here a strong step was taken by providing CRPF security to the contractors and the naval who were constructing the roads, and by the Navy. When they were constructing the road, CRPF took the responsibility of securing the area, and that is how we were able to gradually construct the roads and go deep inside. Earlier, going into Abujmand was a very difficult task because we took a number of hours to enter that area. Now with the construction of roads, we have been able to open FOBs in those areas, and thereby we have cut off the access to the villagers for the Naxalites. So now they cannot easily meet the villagers, nor can they get the intelligence from there. Now the intelligence is now flowing very smoothly for the security forces, not only the technical intelligence, but also the use of drones and dogs. These have acted as force multiplier, and I would say because of the number of battalions that were available earlier because of a disturbance in Assam and other areas. Now, because the situation has improved in number of states, the forces have been pulled out, and now we have around 80 or 80 and odd battalions in Chhattisgarh and other areas for anti-Naxal operation. That has made a big difference. First, number one, they were able to penetrate into Abujmad. Number two, we had a very good intelligence, robust intelligence setup, which was getting us pinpoint information. Number three, the development has started. In fact, 10,000 mobiles were given to the villagers by CRPF itself. And then we have started even educating the people over there, plus opened health centers and made it accessible to the villagers over there.
Okay.
Government naturally will cut off the Naxalites from the villagers.
Okay, let me go across to Mr. Sen. Mr. Sen, you know, Salwa Judum was one experience on which the Supreme Court came down very heavily. Subsequently, the DRGs came up, and now the evidence on the ground is that there's a deep cooperation of the local people with the police. How did this turnaround happen? Because ultimately, it's a multi-pronged action that is being seen in the mass surrender, the elimination of the top leadership, and people getting arrested.
Well, firstly, thank you for calling me on your broadcast. It's after so many years that I've agreed to come on the TV for whatever reasons. Now, you asked me specific questions. Let me tell you that the success now is not only because of what is being done now. It is a cumulative effect of all that has been done in the past and with limitations that we had in the earlier. Now, what were the limitations? Number one, that the political parties earlier were making use politically of the Naxals. We have chief ministers saying that they are brothers and sisters and things like that. So now I find that politically there's a clear-cut message to the police. Number one. Number two, I think the police is being given a free hand without external pressure on them from any other quarter. Thirdly, the development of technical aid in various ways, that has helped. You know, earlier we used to find it difficult even to communicate with our teams which were out in the forest. But now that kind of problem does not exist. So there are multiple factors which have led to the present, I would say, efficiency of security forces, and they've done very well. Now, last of all, I would also like to say that you mentioned something about 76 deaths that took place. At that time, if you look back, the leadership in the CRPF was very poor. Right from the top to the person who was managing the affair. So I feel appropriate officers, the correct officers have been placed in the correct places to deal with this problem. And that is why we are having better results now. I hope this trend will continue, because if it does, then we'll be able to overcome this challenge which is being given by the Maoists. But one thing I would like to say, somebody must institute a research on why this problem has continued for so long. I feel the grassroots problems still exist. And unless they are addressed, well, okay, from right now we are on top. But who says in the future, when police lets down or the government goes easy, that Naxalism won't rise again? So what are the causative factors? I've read so many articles and all, but nobody so far has addressed themselves to what are the causative factors, and are we addressing that from the side of the government?
Okay.
This is what I would like to say.
Oh. I'm also joined by, thank you sir, I'm also joined by P.K. Mishra, former ADG BSF. Sir, what are the causative factors? I would like to know from you, and can these Maoists regroup? Is it a possibility?
Karthik, I can well tell you, I know it was a great day for Odisha, Andhra, Telangana and Chhattisgarh, not only yesterday, even for today also. Like yesterday, we had a big ambush and big catch with Madhvi Hidma. Today also we had at the same place at Maritamali Forest in Alluri district. Another group they were penetrating with led by Meturi Jokha Rao. He's called Tek Shankar, another leader of Naxalists. He was shot dead with 3 women cadre and total 7 were shot dead. And perhaps we are behind Devji to be caught very soon. And I can well tell you, Hidma was commanding 1st PLGA battalion. And he was son of the soil, that is from, he belonged to Sukma 44 years and he joined CPI, then joined Naxalism. But what is the situation now? In fact, the intelligence is coming today that after Hidma's death, a number of PLGA troops, Naxalites, they want to surrender with weapons. This is the latest I can give you. After the death of Shankar, Tek Shankar, he was IED chief. In fact, he was training improvised explosive device at Karaigura hilltop. And this man was killed today. And now PLGA battalion is headless. Not a single commander is there to head that, because that is the biggest operational group. They cannot regroup now. They cannot regroup in Andhra. They cannot do it in Telangana. They cannot do it in Chhattisgarh. They cannot do it in Odisha. I know it is very, very difficult, because this is not the time of Jiram Ghati, which happened in 2013. This is 2025, and Mr. Amit Shah told before 30th November, Hidma has to be caught, or he should surrender, or he should be killed.
Mr. Mishra, there's also a deadline, 2026,
Yes,
you know.
yes,
I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it. I need to take a short commercial break, and then I'll come back to it. Is that possible by 2026? Can we be free of Naxalism, which late Prime Minister Manmohan Singh described as the biggest internal security challenge for the Indian state? But after a short break.
ओह नो, बहुत बोर लग रहा है।